All right. Mics are on. Sound is good. Ready?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah.
Cool.
I think
Sounds
so,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, before you guys start, you're wearing green, so
Oh, do you think that that's gonna
yeah.
mess with it?
probably
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'll put on my hoodie. Give me one sec here. This is better?
Should be, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think that'll be, yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with the green screen. Okay. All right. Now we're good to go?
Yeah, we're all good now.
All right, let's go.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us here, Simply Worldbuilding. Today, to celebrate the first day of April, we are going to do something a little different. We're going to actually speed run building an entirely new world from scratch, unlike anything we've done here on the channel so far.
Yeah, so just in the next 10 or so minutes, we're going to try and crunch out an entire world for you to see. So, did you have anything to start us off with?
Yes, so I think first and foremost we should start with the setting.
Okay, yeah, for
And
sure.
I was thinking we should keep it familiar, since we're speedrunning this, we don't want to get too crazy and unique.
Yeah, no, totally.
So something familiar, and then that way anything that we change to make unique really stands out and is a little extra punchy.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a good idea. Well, we could make it...
Maybe like we can base it off of somewhere that like people already know, like is internationally recognized.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so you could do... I see you probably got... Actually, probably the most recognized is probably London.
Yes. Yeah, I think London's really good.
Yeah.
I think if we don't do... Yeah, like basically London or Paris, but I think London's good.
Yeah, totally. Okay. No, that's probably a good idea.
Okay, so London, and then like what sort of like time period do we want this to be? I think it would be smart if we had it be modern.
Yeah.
But not too modern so that like with new technology, like the villain can't get away with anything.
Yeah, totally.
Because now we've got like surveillance and all that. So
yeah,
like,
totally. There's not cell phones in everyone's pocket.
Yeah.
It's maybe maybe you could probably just get away with like somewhere around like the 2000s.
Totally, yeah. Turn the century like 97 to like 2002 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's modern enough where like people have technology, but not enough where like all the AI stuff is going on, or like constant surveillance and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking late 90s, early 2000s in London.
Yeah. So this is going to be a magical world?
Yeah, I think that we should do magic.
Okay.
I think that it would be really cool if we did like there's like a lot of magic.
Yeah, okay.
But that like it's sort of almost kept like separate from like the regular like civilians that are going about their day.
So like separate from like modern day life, you think sort of thing?
Yeah, so like it can kind of be explained as like magic is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it's all over the place all the time, but like people who aren't used to seeing it just sort of like explain it away.
Oh, okay.
They're like, oh, magic, that couldn't be magic, like must have been the wind, right?
Yeah, totally. Okay. What are the magic? Is the magic level going to make them like superior to like that era of technology, or?
Yeah. I think like there's probably certain things like maybe that even if they sort of evolved almost at different rates, like maybe there's some things that technology has done for people that like the magic users don't have like electricity or whatever, but they have like magic, so they can just like torches lit, they don't really need it.
Yeah, good point. But that's kind of an interesting idea though, is the fact that they're so much more advanced but also kind of like behind at the same time. Like, who needs electric lights when you have magical torches?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so like,
I know which one I would pick.
Yeah, definitely. And they have. Do you think maybe they would have like, I don't know, like something modern but magical, like if they were trying to get like through traffic?
Sure.
Would they have like a vehicle that you think could like make their way through traffic naturally?
Yeah,
or unnaturally?
That's a good point. Because, I mean, if you think of like, they're not going to be like flying around downtown London. Or whatever.
Yeah.
because that's obviously like too obvious, and if they're trying to sort of keep things separate for simplicity's sake, to not boggle everybody's minds, that maybe they do have certain magical technologies, like they could like make their car invisible or whatever.
Yeah, totally. So you see
like,
these
they uncloak in their parking spot or whatever, and it's like, oh, it's just a car.
Yeah.
But then like, if they're trying to go do their magical stuff, then they can just go invisible and
speed their way through. So you see the sort of like modern society and these being completely segregated.
Yeah. I think that like maybe there's certain areas basically where like magical people have just like sort of walled themselves off.
Okay.
But they kind of since they're like the ones in the know, they could go into regular people world, but maybe they like dress differently or whatever so that they can like blend in.
Okay,
and they just don't do magic in front of them.
Yeah, totally. So what's the relationship like between, like, how do you picture it between the non-magical and magical folk?
I think that kind of just don't really know. Like they've kept it a pretty good secret.
Okay.
But that like maybe some of the magical people would be like really interested. Maybe some of them don't care.
Yeah.
But also I think there's probably a bunch of them that like see themselves as like superior.
Yeah, totally. Is it, so how's this magic passed down then? Is it like
right.
Is it like a taught thing? Is it a bloodline thing?
I think kind of both.
Okay.
Like, I think so you'd be like born to like magical parents.
Okay.
And it's like in your blood.
Yeah.
But then to like hone it and get better, you would sort of be
You
taught.
need to learn, in one way or another, definitely. Okay, for sure. So there's sort of groups of these magical people who look down on the non-magical people.
Totally.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's probably where a good amount of attention in this world is going to probably come from. In the world, like during the frame of the story anyway, it's going to probably boil down to that tension.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Are there any sort of like can magical people and non-magical people like be together, have children?
Yeah. I think yes, and I think when you do, like it works. Like you create a functioning child.
Yeah.
But, that maybe, like you're kind of rolling the dice, and you could be born non-magical, or you could be born, like magical, but then even still, nonetheless, like you'd probably have some people that are still going to look down on you for not having like the pure blood or whatever.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Yeah, definitely. Okay, that makes a lot of sense then. Going into the story, how do we want the sort of protagonist to... because I'm picturing, like, everyone loves, like, a good, like, chosen one story.
Totally. I think that keeps it simple. I think that gives us an easy, clean way to start the story.
Yeah, totally.
Because we're working with something that is so quick build here.
Yeah.
We're going to kind of just try and focus on, like, sort of, like, this one brief window. And I think that the best way to navigate this is, we do a straight up just chosen one style move.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
And, like, just, like, the big bad evil guy, like, dark guy.
Dark Lord kind of thing.
Totally,
yeah,
100%.
Lord of dark stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that's a pretty... So how relevant is this Dark Lord, do you think?
I think it'd be cool if, like, he was super powerful.
Yeah.
Like super powerful. He
established as powerful now, or gaining power for later? Like, does everyone fear him when we enter the story, or is he something?
Kind of both. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a cool way. Okay, so all right, hear me out.
Yeah.
Chosen one.
Yeah.
Born not knowing anything about this world. I think that's a cool way to sort of like gradually introduce the things that make our story unique.
Well, yeah, and also like bring a reader or player into the world in the same way as the protagonist does. Yeah.
Like we'll start off, and like as we're sort of explaining this, like, oh, it's very like mundane, like 2000s London, like it's a little drizzly, it's a little cloudy.
Yeah.
But then this child who is the chosen one.
Yeah.
Doesn't know anything about this magic, but was born magical.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like probably orphaned.
Yeah, yeah.
Given to like the oh man. Okay, so yeah, hear me out.
Okay.
Chosen one.
Yeah.
Parents killed by the dark guy.
The Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
And then given to family who knows about it,
Yeah.
hates it. And so
Okay, okay.
intentionally doesn't tell the kid anything about this world. So the kid grows
So they try.
up.
Yeah. He grows up.
Yeah, grows up like,
Non-magical. Yeah.
sort of. Like maybe like they can do some magic but not know that it's magic because like the same way that everybody else in the world is always
Interpret
like,
it. Okay.
oh, yeah, that was weird or whatever.
Yeah, I can't believe. Or like, am I going crazy right now? Yeah. Example. Yeah.
So just does some stuff, and it's like, oh, that was weird. And then like one day, like right at the beginning of where our story is,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe like learns like, oh shit, like I'm a wizard.
Yeah.
And then that way we can sort of gradually like go from all this mundane stuff to what makes our world actually unique, the magic
Yeah.
stuff, and we can kind of explore that like gradually and have
Yeah.
it be like we're learning about it sort of with this kid.
Yeah, totally. In the terms of the magic system of this sort of world too, like I'm picturing you wanted it to be very magic saturated, so we're going with high magic for sure.
Yeah.
But how much what are the rules going to sort of be for this sort of magic system?
I think for the sake of simplicity,
Yeah.
maybe let's not even really worry about the rules.
Okay.
Let's just sort of like make it up on the fly, and when things are convenient for us, then we can sort of make the rules.
Yeah, so we could we'll have tons of magic and tons of the main
Yeah.
character learning about magic, but we won't explain
We won't
any
really
rules.
define it, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll just explain maybe certain rules as a plot
As
device.
they become relevant.
and completely
yeah.
randomly. Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay, I just had a thought.
Okay.
Speaking of not really defining the rules,
Yeah.
why did this kid not get killed by this Dark Lord guy?
Oh yeah, because he killed the parents, so why didn't
yeah.
he kill the kid?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe some sort of
Like, what's,
non-magical force.
What is something that like the parents could have done that is like so magical that not even like any other magic can like
Can break it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could do it was always the magic was the friends they made along the way.
Totally,
it was
like
the
friendship.
yeah, or
Friendship is magic.
yeah, friendship or love or
Yeah.
something really dumb like that.
totally.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's also cool because then like everything is magic, but like everybody has a little bit of magic in them. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
your love
totally.
is magical.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
friendship is magical. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, totally. Okay. So, yeah, he was saved by this sort of magical non-magical force.
Yeah, yeah.
But so what happened to the Dark Lord after that though? What's
Right. That's right. Okay. So I think
Because why wouldn't he have just followed through with it?
Totally.
Been oh darn, and then just try it again.
okay, Dark Lord,
Yeah.
very powerful. Everybody's scared.
Yeah.
And then this powerful spell
Yeah.
rebounds when he's killing the parents.
Okay.
Parents still die.
Rebounds. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then
Very
maybe
nondescript.
he's super weakened.
Yeah.
Super weakened.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he's
Okay.
basically out of the picture for a while.
Yeah.
Everything starts getting a little bit back to normal, except that there's probably still his following is out there lurking in the shadows.
Does everyone think he's dead, or do they know? Are they unsure?
I think that some people think so, but there's still enough of a skepticism around it
Okay,
that there's
yeah.
a little bit of a taboo.
I mean, yeah, honestly, something rebounding for basically no reason does sound like an
Pretty
unbelievable
unbelievable.
idea. So
Pretty unbelievable.
yeah,
So
I
I
could see
can
how there
see
would be
skepticism.
yeah, exactly, yeah, totally.
Okay. So, Dark Lord guy is now
But he's looming in the background.
looming in the background. Totally.
Okay, okay.
But again, our hero doesn't know anything about this.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
they start so somebody brings them into the
magical
world.
realm. Yeah, yeah.
And so he's gonna start learning about, and he just a kid.
yeah.
So he's gonna start going, and he's gonna need to find like teachers to teach him how to get used to this magic stuff that he's just learned about.
Okay, yeah.
So somebody like like some like lovable, but like uniquely enough, like must be a little bit magical because he's not quite normal.
Yeah.
But lovable guy. Sort of ushers him into like this magical world.
Yeah.
And then okay, so now we're into basically like the secret portion.
Yeah.
What kinds of things? Because we're still in London at this point.
Okay, yeah.
How do we like keep like regular London and like magical hidden stuff separate?
Just no one's found it yet. There's like a magical barrier that just makes it so
Yeah?
I can't see that.
Yep.
Yeah, that so he's trying to find these like teachers and stuff. Is this like is he having to like go all over the world like Last Airbender style, or is it all congregated into like a single place?
Well, okay, so what if like magic is throughout the entire world?
Yeah.
And what if like, like each country has like sort of a center of what is like they each have like their own like special like magical like community.
Yeah, okay.
And so you got one in London, you got one in like Paris, and then like Hungary and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're spread out and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think that maybe like certain portions of it can be like still in like London, like maybe like that's where like the shops are and stuff like that.
Okay.
But then I think in order to be able to have like such a concentration of like all this magical stuff,
Yeah.
that it should be out of town.
Yeah.
Like they can, I mean, I guess they can't really fly, and maybe not everybody has invisible cars.
Yeah.
So they could get just like on like just a mundane looking train.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Man, that's an interesting point though, because a train like that's super visible, obviously. So like, how are they going to get on this train?
Yeah, probably. There's
Well, you
probably
said a barrier, like a magical barrier that people can't see or whatever.
Yeah, so maybe there's like a secret passageway or something
Totally.
like that to get to this train or something.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, and so they get on the train, and they go off to this like magical like society where okay, so there's teachers.
Yeah.
You want to just make it a school?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's quick and easy.
Okay. Yeah.
So he goes to like, they go to these magical schools where they teach them the rules of magic. Again, we're not really going to relay those rules for any reason, but it just all you need to know is that they're there.
And they'll come up sometimes, and then we'll sort of mention like, that's how that rule works.
Yeah, exactly. If it's relevant for any reason. Is this chosen one going to have like? Are they going to be an outcast? Are they going to have friends?
I think maybe maybe like, well, because he is going to be kind of like a little like dorky. Right?
Yeah, totally. You got to make him relatable.
Maybe he like finds like another kid that's like a little bit dorky.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't really have like much of a family because his family sucks.
Yeah,
so
true.
What if like the first person he meets has like a super cool chill family?
Yeah, for the contrast. Yeah, totally. No, that does make a lot of sense.
Well, we talked about foils before. So what if like for foils we have like the one guy who's got like a super cool family, but he's also like sort of the dorky kind that our hero
that
is.
Relates.
And then what if there's one who doesn't really have much of like a hands-on family?
Yeah.
Maybe like they're barely even necessarily in the wizarding world.
Yeah.
But they're like really smart because our hero is also like
learning about these things.
Is smart, but like doesn't really know anything either. Right?
Yeah. Well, that would be great though, because then there would be a character there who basically like anytime there's a question we need to answer, like you can just have that character answer it for that.
Super convenient for storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely not really annoying at all.
No.
So that's good. So you have like this sort of trio in this sort of like magical school that's going to probably learn much about the magic, but also about themselves along the way.
Of course. Well, because they're just kids, so it's going to be like a little bit of...
It's going to be a bit of a coming of age story sort of thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. You had a good idea.
I was just thinking, like, what if, like, first and foremost, I kind of like the idea of there being, maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but I like the idea of there being, like, one teacher that's, like, super suspect, and they, like, always, like, think that, like, that's got to be, like, the bad guy, right?
Oh, yeah,
but he's, like, not really necessary, or, like, you don't really know if he's the bad guy. Like, they just, like... we just string him along the entire time.
He's
like,
a red
the
herring.
bad guy. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because it'll give them like some sort of person to be consider an enemy throughout it.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
maybe you can have like a bit of a completely convoluted plot twist at the end.
100%. I like that a lot. Yeah. So actually, I was also thinking. So if there's like going to be the one obviously sketchy teacher guy.
Yeah.
Do we want to have like groups, like homerooms or whatever, in like the school where
like
there's,
factions within the school?
totally, where
Yeah,
like one
totally.
of them can represent like the bad guys, one of them can represent like smart kids and
Yeah.
brave kids and whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Should we just do the two so that it's like pretty obvious who's who?
Well, I can think of three for sure.
Yeah.
Bad kids.
Yeah.
Smart kids and brave kids. But
Okay.
then like, what if? Okay, we might as well make
three,
four.
Yeah, because the three is a little asymmetrical
Yeah,
or
so we should have a
non-symmetrical.
fourth,
Feels a little
but
weird.
I genuinely have no idea what we should make their thing.
Yeah.
So what if they're just like loyal or something?
I mean, yeah. So they could be loyal. I mean,
Well, I just can't think of anything else like other than either like you're good, you're bad,
Or you're ugly.
smart, or like if we're gonna have a fourth thing, what is the fourth thing?
just
like, we're basically just throwing it in there.
just go with that, and then probably just don't mention it
So
or
they're,
any
like,
of them
good
at
friends,
all.
basically?
Yeah, like they're chill. Like
Well,
just
power
call.
of friendship. We had the power of friendship.
Yeah,
before,
no,
so
that's
it's
huge.
not
So
useless.
yeah, so
Cool.
they'll be relevant only probably once.
I think it also gives you more people to compare yourself to. Like, we're at least better than them, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it could just be a faction of dorks.
Yeah.
So that could be totally.
So they get to the school.
Yeah.
And then they get sorted into these different groups.
Yeah.
And like you're either smart, good, bad, or loyal or whatever.
Yeah.
We haven't come up with like a name for it. Okay, if it's gonna be
A name for the what? The school?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if it's gonna be like sort of like an all ages type thing,
Yeah.
like it should be clearly like very like witchy.
Yeah.
Because that's like the thing.
Yeah, it's the
but
whole
then
theme, yeah.
also it should be like a little bit like aloof and goofy, like so that it like it's because it's school for kids.
It'll sound weird to outsiders, but like totally normal to the people there.
Yeah, because it's a school for kids, but it's a school for like witches and wizards. For
Yeah.
kids.
Okay.
And I think immediately, like when I think of witches,
Yeah.
I think of like warty long noses. Right?
Yeah, that is kind of a quintessential. So yeah, something to do with warts.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe, but I thought it would be funny if it was something that was like completely dismissive of the entire idea.
Yeah.
But
Because that's kind of how everybody else in the world views it. Right?
yeah, exactly. But like again, it's something to like the people like they just don't even think about how it sounds. It could be like hogwash or something like that.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to it.
Yeah, the name's not super important. We can maybe just
Yeah, I
narrow
got
it
a
down
little
right
ahead
at
of
the
myself
end.
there.
Yeah,
We'll-
no, it's
we'll
fine.
come back to that.
It's fine. But okay, so what?
They get to the school.
Yes,
Sketchy
teacherman.
teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here, okay.
Yeah.
So how do we reintroduce basically the big bad evil guy if the sketchy teacher is just like basically red herring the whole time? I was thinking
Yeah.
a kid
Yeah.
in the bad
Faction.
bad faction.
Yeah.
Who's like maybe the son of like one of the like sort of upper guys in
Yeah.
the Dark Lords.
Yeah.
Like
Conspiracy. Yeah.
And he's like pure blooded, like hates anybody who's got like sort of like watered down, muddied blood or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it makes him dislikable off the bat, so you
totally.
can kind of follow along.
Yeah, and he's like the kid of like those guys, and so like maybe he already. Oh, what if he maybe already like has heard of like the Chosen One guy because
Yeah.
like you like held off my lord or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe he's got like a scar.
Yeah.
And so, like, he's instantly recognizable, and then
Yeah.
he's just immediately like a douche.
Everyone knows he's the kid who didn't die.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's probably good to have like a foil character that's about their age as well. But where's the Dark Lord in all this? Like, he's got to be relevant somewhere in like at least the first bit of the story.
I agree. I think that because of like the energy of him looming all the time, I think it would be really cool if, like, we had him way closer than you would expect.
Okay.
Like, he's like
Like he's like in the school.
totally in the school.
Okay.
He's like, maybe he isn't a teacher, but like maybe he's like really like close, really buddy with a teacher.
Yeah, like
really
so.
close to a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got that
Right under
teacher's
their
back.
noses. He's got
yeah,
their back,
yeah. Like at all times. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, interesting. But like, and so that's gonna slowly emerge as things go along.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And so.
Well, okay, so if he's in the school
Yeah.
and he doesn't know that the chosen one is there yet,
Yeah.
what is he looking for? Like, is he's assumably trying to like come back to strength?
Yeah.
Come back to basically life.
Yeah.
So like, what's something that like he could be looking for there?
So, I don't know, some fucking Infinity Stone ass thing.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably like some sort of.
Well, stone is a good idea.
Yeah. Like just the MacGuffin rock.
Totally, MacGuffin rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
that brings people back to life. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It can bring people back to life. Turn fucking.
Make them invincible. And,
Turn base metals into gold.
Totally,
Some
yeah.
sort of stupid shit like that.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
So okay, so they're at this school.
At the school.
Yeah, but they can't just learn shit while they're here. Like that's not an interesting
Right.
story. So what if like the Dark
Well-
Lord kind of like appears, like just like rears his head, but like they don't know who he is, and he's like, I don't know, he's like eating a horse or something stupid.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so they can't just be like learning at this school though, because that's not like super interesting.
Yeah.
No one would really even want to
No.
know anything about the specifics of this magic system.
No, you're right.
and
Yeah, we
it's-
want to keep the rules vague, so let's distract people with some, like, they've got extracurriculars at school.
What's
like
like the
they've got,
most
like, sports.
Yeah, like yeah.
Like, sports and art classes, basically, but art sucks, so let's just do sports.
Yeah, exactly.
What is a sport that, like, wizards and witches would play? Obviously, they've got to fly on brooms.
Yeah, that's like quintessential. Well, okay, but it's got to be something they could do that's like a mix of like multiple sports. Is like okay, they get to beat the shit out of each other.
Beat the shit out of each other.
But also there's got to be like balls and
balls,
yeah, dunk balls and hoops.
Yeah.
And
brooms.
yeah, and then there's gonna be like just because it's magic sports,
Yeah.
there's got to be like one complete fuck off rule that doesn't actually even.
Yeah. What if there was one rule where like the rest of the match genuinely doesn't matter at all if like you do like one thing?
Yeah.
Like I don't just catch like a golf ball in your mouth.
Yeah.
Like you just win.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Like, and there's one player who's always trying to
Just catch the golf
to
ball.
swallow that ball.
Cool. Yeah.
And so, yeah. So okay. So it gives like a little bit of extra something to happen here. But okay,
Yeah.
hear me out. What if at some point the Dark Lord appears? They don't know it's the Dark Lord. They just see him out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And
Okay.
he's just like he's like eating
It's
a horse.
really dark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's just eating a horse or something
No kidding.
stupid.
Why is he doing that?
Because he likes it. And
Yeah.
and so he just swoops away, and so they're like, "Wait, what was that? Why did that happen?"
That was scary.
Yeah, and so it brings up questions, and they start asking like, "What's the deal?" And then like eventually the teachers have to be like, "Oh, well, that's the dark boy."
Dark guy's back.
Yeah, dark guy might be coming back. He's right under our noses.
Okay.
Or somebody's.
So what if now that they know that,
Yeah.
like they are like hunting him down, they keep thinking that it's the sketchy teacher guy.
Yeah.
And then they follow the sketchy teacher guy one time into like these dark back rooms.
Yeah.
And they have to go through like a whole bunch of different challenges.
Yeah.
And like they have to like fly around on brooms because that's what they've been learning all year.
Yeah.
And then like do like stupid fucking like just big chests.
Yeah, just gigantic
Big
chests. Let's
chests.
just do that.
And then
With like a lot of stakes, but they don't actually matter the
Yeah, none of
entire
it
time.
matters.
Yeah.
And then they get there. He just like grabs the bad guy's face.
Yeah.
He screams a bunch. He gets
Yeah.
the rock, and then like the headmaster comes in and says like, "Oh, you did such a good job."
Yeah, and he gives him like 50 points.
Yes, they
Yeah.
should win. Yes, like a like so. There's like a cup thing that's going on in the background.
Yeah.
And they just like they were losing, and now they super win because they did the thing.
Yeah, exactly. No, that
that's
makes
really
sense.
cool.
Like everyone really likes when the protagonist wins something for
95%
basically no
of the
reason.
year doesn't even matter, but because he killed the bad guy, or
Yeah,
they killed the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like to completely undermine
Yeah.
anyone else who could possibly be here. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And then like, you know, we're talking like, oh, he's gonna be back next year, but like for now, like you did such a good job. Like,
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying the Wizarding World or whatever.
Yeah.
What was the school called again?
I don't know, but I don't know. Is this starting to sound like weirdly familiar to you?
I don't think so.
Oh, see, I told you the freaking green screen was a bad idea.
Whatever. We'll just do it in the tavern like normal.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. Well, anyway, this has been us building a world for your enjoyment.
A legally distinct and very unique world.
Yeah, that no one has ever experienced or read about, watched any movies about.
I was gonna say, you could make a movie. You could make like 6 or whatever of them.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, based on this tiny concept, you could probably
6 and
make
then
some
part
sort
2
of
number 6 or something.
some sort of $1 million, several $1 million franchise.
Cool.
But so yeah, you can take that and run with it and do what you will. But either way, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.
Happy April 1.